Hi, I'm Anna Jacobson, and today in Summer Arts we have Mark Larsen and Josh Meltzer. Mark, how did you get involved in Summer Arts?
Well, when Summer Arts was based back at Humboldt State in the late 80s, I volunteered to coordinate a photo class, and I've been hooked on doing Summer Arts workshops ever since. So.
And you're the multimedia coordinator for Summer Arts?
Yeah, this year's a little different from the previous photo workshops in the sense that we really did just concentrate on the still image, and we would make miles of prints to hang for the student culmination show. This year, though, I looked again for a niche that I wanted to learn, and that was multimedia production. In this case, Josh is teaching us how to put audio with still photos in a program called Sound Slides.
Gotcha. So how did you come across Josh?
Well, actually, he's on the faculty at Western Kentucky University doing this very kind of program, but I've known him since he worked at the Roanoke Times newspaper 10 years ago, known of his work, I mean, and he ended up being my #1 choice. You look at his website and you see this amazing still photo portfolio collection, but also his audio story with the still photo collections, I think are among the best in the country.
That's neat. And Josh, you are our guest artist and lecturer. Can you tell us a little bit about the class you'll be teaching and what students will learn in that class?
Yeah, so what we're teaching is multimedia storytelling, which is combining still images with audio. It could also be video, but we're not working with any video this time. So what I'm teaching is to people who have primarily been interested in still photography only, another medium to add their pictures to, and we're working on crafting a story and finding stories in the Fresno community that we can combine audio that's recorded in the field, which would be both interviews and ambient sound, with pictures, and then putting them together and crafting a narrative arc.
And how many students do you have in that class?
I believe we have around 25 students in the class.
That's great. And so tell us a little bit about your background with photography.
My background is I worked for about 15 years as a newspaper photographer in 2 places, first in Duluth, Minnesota, and second in Roanoke, Virginia, at 2 newspapers. And I left the Roanoke Times in 2008 and had a Fulbright scholarship and lived in Guadalajara, Mexico, and worked on a multimedia project about internal migration within Mexico, people moving within the country for about a year, and then I got hired on at Western Kentucky University where I teach photojournalism.
And you're lecturing tonight also?
Yeah, tonight I'll be showing mainly some picture stories that I've worked on, and a little bit of multimedia and a bit of a project from Mexico.
Great. So Mark, back to you. I was wondering, what would you say, how has Summer Arts changed your life?
Well, first of all, the opportunity to actually do a short-term workshop with the kind of quality guest artists like Josh is just an unparalleled opportunity. The Cal State University doesn't have that wonderful budget, and you also end up spreading stuff over the whole semester. But to cram one workshop into that short period with guest artists is just so intense. And the second part of it is the cross connections with all the other workshops occurring at the same time. I mean, a couple of years ago, we would go and photograph and listen to the gospel music workshop. That was a transforming experience. The same way with the urban bushwomen, to go and photograph and to watch their rehearsals. It's just an astounding experience that I have not found anywhere else in my life, including working at a university.
Josh, how about you? What have you experienced here at Summer Arts in the short time you've been here? What have you thought about the experience?
Yeah, well, the greatest thing to me about workshops is that you get to take a step away from the rest of your life for a few days and focus intensely on one thing. It's a little different for the people that live in Fresno because they still return to their homes at night. But for a lot of the people, it's a chance to get away from all of their other life, their work, their school, even their normal friends that they hang out with, and get together with people who are all interested in the same thing. Like in our case, we have a room full of photographers. We can tell each other things about equipment or websites we like to look at or exchange information about photographers. And so it's a really great experience to have this small group of people that's all really interested in the same thing together for a week.
Thank you guys for joining us today.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Anna.
Last night, guest artist Bill Kroyer lectured on the history of computer art, animation, and filmmaking. Here's a clip from the lecture.
You know, when I sat down to my very first scene and saw the little character turn around and wink at me, I was hooked. I thought I would talk a little bit about the principles of animation and also take you on a little journey through some of how the ways technology has changed it, because it used to be that you would draw, but now, as you know, this little guy here, the computer has done so much, it's really changing the way things are going. But animation is also defined as the art of movement. Because even though other art forms paint and do color and composition and form and all those other things, only we, the animators, actually create.
He helped a lot of things, just making your characters more believable so you can apply to studios and make your work more memorable so it's not as static. Where the industry's going, where it's been, how you're going to learn from the past to help you out in the future. So.